Vive la France et dans l'indépendance.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force.
Ten westen van Arnhem heeft de vijand een bruggenhoofd over de Neder-Rijn veroverd.
Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Hive Hounds channel. This isn't World Warships. This is something slightly different, but obviously a lot of people enjoy the history of the game that we're playing mostly, which is World of Warships. So I figured I would show you something else that I have been playing of late. Just to have full disclosure, I was given this game for free on the basis that I make a video, but doesn't mean I'm beholden to them. I'm not getting paid or anything like that. So this is literally me just playing a game I got asked to play, given for free, and asked to make a video on. And well, I really enjoyed it. So this is the training area, as you can hear over the tannoy. We have a World War II style British commander providing us with some information. And I strongly suggest, if you play this game, it is on PC only, but I do strongly suggest that you most certainly do come into the training area, because it's a pretty hardcore game. You know, this isn't Call of Duty, this isn't you know, a battle royale game. This is a pretty hardcore warfare game. Closest thing, like the old Battlefields, like Battlefield 1942, but on super difficult hardcore mode. You can respawn, but that's all based on the game mode that you're playing. So dotted around the training area are these little boards. They provide you with information about the game. They don't tell you any of the buttons. You do need to go and look at that for yourself, but it's definitely worth spending, you know, 10-15 minutes just to familiarise yourself a little bit with the basis of the game. You know, you can get into, you can train with tanks, you can train with mortars, artillery weapons. This is a pretty good representation of what you would have seen on a World War II battlefield. And you will find a lot of the servers, they're pretty, some of them they can be pretty full on there with their level of commander. You know, you do this, move here, you know, shots being called out like, I see 3 enemies 200 yards northwest by barn, and you know, your commander will tell you to wait, hold, open fire, you know, on his command. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's in depth. It is quite in depth, and you do need to be a little bit invested into World War II and into military strategy games to really get into this game fully. So we're just having a look. As you can see, it's showing all the range of different weapons. There was the Americans, the British, looking at the German weaponry that's available. Oh, sorry, not German, French. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce any of these guns on the board in front of us right here. There's the German army's weaponry, the Panzerschreck, some Kar 98s. And this is the firing range. So as you can see, if you're having trouble steadying your weapon, if you stand near an object, it'll automatically, and you'll see the little symbol pop up in the bottom left there. That's saying I'm resting against something, so my gun isn't going to bounce all over the place. So we use this for a bit of target practice. Basically, you need to get used to how the guns fire, because, like I said, it's not like Call of Duty. These guns won't just, you know, lasers. When you're not resting against a box, you'll get a bunch of weapons sway. If you crouch in, it'll sway less. If you put on your bayonet, because it's World War II, we have bayonets. If you slap on the way of bayonet, the sway will be slightly different, and the gun will sort of gradually sway downwards instead of just left to right. So it's definitely something you want to do. You definitely want to jump into the training ground and have practice. Obviously, I've taken a bit of a fancy to the sniper rifle, as you can see here, and I'm not willing to put it down. And cheeky bugger changing direction, goddamn dummies. And there, see, you've got to do the sort of, you know, expect their position, sort of shoot in advance of where you think they're going to hit, where they're going to be when your shot lands. It's pretty in depth, and I think am I going to, right, see, yeah, so I'm going to crouch. I'll show you. So when you're laying down perfectly still, it's like a laser. We see a helmet, so we're going to shoot at it. In the crouch position, see, we've got minimal sway. And then, go on, be a bro and stand up. And I'm not going to show you what happens when you stand up, because that's just the way I am. So I'm going to switch between the weapons and basically just demonstrate the difference in sway. See, look at the sway on the carbine. Crouch, there's still a bit of sway, but it's not quite as much. That sound is just a thing of beauty, that ting. And then just to be thorough, we're on a box, and as you can see, when you're resting on a box, when you don't crouch, it is just as you'd expect, like you've got a bipod. It's just accurate, it's just aiming, no sway, no swinging around. Turn your little carbine into an absolute laser. So next up, we've got the Browning, and you can't actually aim down the sights on a Browning unless you're resting against a box. So if you're carrying the Browning, be aware that that is exactly what's going to happen. And in all fairness, because I'm a noob, I make the mistake. I think, all right, so just because I'm by a box, it's going to click on. That doesn't happen with the machine guns. As you can see, even if I'm laying down, nothing happens. It just sprays absolutely everywhere. And I got a little bit frustrated with that then. But I don't know if I'm going to remember. I will, just not this time. That you have to hold C as the default key bindings. If you hold C, it will actually put its bipod up. So as you can see, we're just showing off the showing the spray pattern of a machine gun. This is the bar, I believe I just picked up. So if you stand in there, freestanding, the thing will bounce up like nobody's business. See? And these are just the little key things you've got to learn. So we're trying to hit targets at distance by freestanding the bar, and as you can see, it's pretty difficult. It's not the easiest thing to achieve. So we're going to reload, and we are going to stand next to a box, and see that we get the magic symbol. Where's the magic symbol gone? For some reason, it's not working. But I'll continue to fire anyway, because that's what I do. And we're going to swap to a submachine gun. We're going to swap to the Thompson. This is just to show the difference in each weapon and how they react. And how they... So you can see the sway with the Thompson. Fire a single shot, obviously it doesn't bounce far, but start spraying and it goes all over the place. So these are just things, these are just basic simple mechanics of the game, but they can make all the difference between you dying and you killing. And even on the box, so you still get quite a bit of movement with a fully automatic rifle like the Thompson. And we're having a quick look. Are we going to pick up a pistol? Yes, we are, because what game wouldn't be complete without the pistol? and that was me trying to compensate for the sway as well. You're going to get up close and personal. And on to grenades, because everyone loves a good grenade. Right, so when you press to fire the grenade, there's two ways. Left click gives you an overhanded throw, right click gives you an underhanded throw. So you want to be careful about that, specifically when out in the battlefield, because an underarm throw will just toss it right in front of you. And yeah, they're grenades, they work, they will explode, they will. Then, this isn't Call of Duty grenades, they accept physics. If they land on a hill, they will roll down the hill. You'll see it now when this one explodes. See where the shrapnel lands? Yeah, so they're proper grenades, and they respond realistically to physics. So that is something that you definitely want to be aware of. And this is where I remember, yes, we can fix bayonets. And this is where I have a senior moment trying to think about it. And here we go. So we're going to grab the M1 Grand. We are going to equip the bayonet. So when you run out of ammo, the idea is you put the bayonet on and see the sway, see it sort of drop in slowly. We're probably going to go over there and give the dummy a good old stabbing as well whilst we're at it, because why not? And one more thing that I do want to cover in this. See, we take the bayonet off here and show, see the difference in sway and the difference in how it acts when you fire. It doesn't drop. So I just wanted to highlight that to everyone as well. So the training ground is definitely something you want to get into as you want to get more advanced. If you want to look at becoming a tank commander or gunner on the tank, there's a tank area, there's a logistics area for the people who keep the army, because these are big battles. These are like 40 versus 40 teams. So there's logistics teams which supply supplies and support ammunition, etc. as well. So that is definitely something you want to remember. And what am I doing here? Yes, this one about the machine gun. That's what I wanted to show you guys, the machine gun. So this is an encampment which you can build to keep your machine gunner safe instead of them standing out in the field. Where are you going? What are you doing? Hive, come back. Right, he's going to pick up the bar this time. The browning, sorry. And is this where I realise, yeah, you have to press C. You have to press C. There we go. So this is a normal machine gun. And as you can see, compared to the spray that we had earlier when we were trying to fire it, when you place your machine gun with C, and ignore the glitch where it continued to give the gunfire sound, it really does change how the gun reacts. And it becomes a field murdering machine. Right, okay, so here is the encampment. So we're going to build up the encampment. It's not that easy in game. Basically, you need a command to say to build an encampment, and then you've got to get some guy to toss down some sandbags, and then other people with shovels to actually build the encampment. But this is what an encampment or an MG nest would look like. As you can see, we're just spraying down targets. And this is why you never walk into an open field in a game such as Post-Scriptium. So we're going to jump straight into a game. We're going to ignore the slow start and just get into the action. As you can see, we spotted an enemy there running out of the church. And we're pretty sure he's dead. As you can hear, you will hear communications in the background. I hope the volume's down enough so you can actually hear the team chatter. And genuinely, when you come on here, people are talking. So if you are going to play this, using a mic is generally something that I would suggest. So
yeah, we're going to push church from behind.
See, that was my squad leader saying we're going to push the church from behind. So as the marksman, I am up on a roof and I am going to provide overwatch.
Let's go.
But things will take a turn. this is not going to go down exactly how my captain suggested. And it turns out we've got some enemies shooting at us from elsewhere.
Down, he's down. There's another one by the house.
And see the squad leader. The squad leader is the only person who can mark buildings, and there we go. We spotted some enemies.
Alright guys, we are capping that previous position. Move back in there. Defend it.
They are now throwing smoke from an
Back in the
unknown
house, back in the
location
house.
over there, which we're going to try and zoom in and we're going to try and hold this position.
They're throwing nades.
And of course, this is where I forget to reload my rifle, and there we go. Kill number 2.
Southeast, guys. Southeast. Enemies.
So my job as a marksman here, as a machine gunner trying to mow them down, but is to stop them advancing, and I will call out enemies when I see
We
them.
are capping.
Good shit, guys. I got you, soldier.
Obviously cover makes a big difference, as you can see. I spot that guy, I reload, there he is, boom, another one down.
Oh,
That is my squad leader, you can see in the bottom left hand side with his binoculars, and he is having a look around to see who he can see and call out some potential enemies for us. And he spots over here is a truck, which happens to be a respawn truck, and we're going to see quite a number of men coming from that general direction. I'll try not to talk over the action too much here.
Bradley's about to expire, by the way.
Yeah. I'll put a new one in this building.
As the enemies have run and ducked behind cover. Basically now they're going to be the job of my rifleman. They've got past me
Yeah, I'll need
essentially at this point, so I'm going to continue to scan the bushes and check for anyone trying to flank, as one of my teammates unfortunately gets shot, as you can hear by his hallowed screams from downstairs.
Do you want to move slightly west? One of the buildings slightly west of
Yeah, we're just capping them. We've nearly capped. Alright, squad three. We're gonna push out town.
Yeah, squad lead, just move my position. I'm west of your position, across the road and
I'm basically looking for medics trying to revive their teammates and wanting to kill them before they revive, which I think they are actually going to successfully do, because my concentration, or team's concentration, gets distracted. And there's the commander. That is a important kill to get. He cannot mark targets for his team. Machine gunner. Normal. As you see, I'm a complete noob and I keep on forgetting to reload. And that was a potential kill we just walked out. And that could be a medic reviving everyone in that building.
enemy tank, yeah. Enemy tank on the go get out the windows.
And we're about to transition to our next engagement, because this tank just wipes out my entire team. And yes, there are tanks. And yes, that's what the Panzer Shreks and C4s and everything else are for. Mines to destroy the tanks. Trying to see if anyone was reviving there, and that is it. We died. So that was our first death. But we did get quite a number of kills. So now, that's the building that we were in. But we're looking at basically retaking it now that the tank has finally been taken. So there's some pretty cool realistic physics in this game. If you're in open fields you can sprint. You can't sprint through bushes, because who can sprint through heavy foliage?
It's hot. There are enemy infantry directly north of my position. Careful. MG set up and suppress the set of trenches.
That satisfying noise. We were close enough to get that thud.
Guys, chuck some smoke
Means
grenades,
you actually killed someone,
northwest.
not just fired a shot.
How do we destroy this thing? Come on, let's throw it quick.
Grenades,
Fuck it up.
or AT. AT might do it.
And there we go. Another 3 kills.
Right,
I really do like the marksman class. I would strongly suggest going either rifleman or marksman to start off with, because machine guns are quite difficult to use. You need to get into position, you need commanders to build you bunkers, etc. Oh, suspicious looking log.
I got you, mate.
And the other roles get more and more complicated. The medic's quite a good one and has a fairly easy learning curve. Sappers are a bit more complicated. They're like your grenadiers. They're the people who will go after anti-tanks. They're specific radio man roles, etc. But I thoroughly enjoyed my my few days so far with Post-Scriptium. I believe it's going on sale because they have released a new update. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. And, well, until next time, take care.